cars are everywhere in our culture, from our movies to music to games and advertising. What's also predominant is the quest for speed, to make up for lost time, to pass by the competition, to get to the head of the line and be first. Now, when you combine the two, problems start to arise. San Jose in Focus went out and asked you, when do you find yourself speeding? Here's what you had to say.
Usually when I'm late or when I'm being careless, those two things.
Sometimes when there's, special on TV, just stupid little things like that,
My average speed would be 70, 75, just to keep up with the traffic.
I find myself speeding when I'm late to something.
And we also asked what you thought when others drive by you at a high rate of speed.
I get angry and, just hope that they get theirs.
My heart skips a couple of beats and I think, man, that guy's crazy. I'm a little nervous about pedestrian safety, especially on San Fernando. We call this the San Fernando Speedway. And, I will yell out to them to slow down. I'm waiting for someone to come back and punch me, but...
I hope we get a ticket. That's what I think. Because I'm going 75 and I think that's a good speed already. If he's going any faster than me, he's probably going 80 plus, so he's speeding, really speeding, so I think he deserves a ticket.
And that's the problem. We admit that we speed, but we can always point to someone who is speeding more than we are. The other guy is the real problem. We can define speeding however we want. We can rationalize that our cars are safer, that we have more protection. Many of us have grown up with video games where we have endless numbers of lives, where we can survive countless collisions. But on our highways and city streets, a crash can be a case of game over.
Everyone is in a hurry to go somewhere these days, and therefore the speeds are up across the board. You get in behind the wheel of a car and you don't even realize you're doing 65 miles an hour, and you are. And with our complicated lives and the cell phones and the radio going and different things going on in their life, they're not paying attention to the specifics of being behind the wheel of a car.
When we're not paying attention to our speed and the condition of the road, there are real consequences. On a daily basis, Dr. Tad Hurst sees the damage done because of our love affair with speed.
People who are brought in here, believe it or not, by ambulance who have absolutely nothing the matter with them, but they were in a bad car crash and the paramedics brought them in, and all the way up to people who are on the verge of death when they roll in the door and do die. And so that whole spectrum from between those two extremes is seen in the emergency department.
We set a premium on getting to our destination 2 minutes earlier. In exchange, we're willing to jeopardize our lives and the safety of others.
And it goes back to, you watch these guys that change lanes and move back and forth down the freeway, and they're going to get ahead, they're going to jump ahead of that car, and they're going to get down. Next thing you know, they pull off the freeway and they pull up, and guess what? They're at the light and they're 3 cars ahead of you because you stayed in one lane and just maintained your speed. So how much time did they save by switching all those lanes, powering ahead of the cars, and creating a potential traffic hazard by doing what they were doing? They're really not saving any time.
The city takes a two-step approach to keep our roads safe. The first is to stop speeders and issue a summons to appear in traffic court.
It really doesn't pay to speed. If convicted of a first offense speeding conviction, the fine can run anywhere from $100 to over $300. If you are convicted of a speeding violation, the court does have the authority to suspend your privilege to drive for a period of time, and this can occur even on a first offense.
Punishing the speeder is one way to get drivers to slow down. The other way is through education. San Jose's Department of Transportation launched Street Smarts, a program aimed at changing our attitudes behind the wheel and on the street.
By working together, we can not only educate our citizens, primarily the motorists and the pedestrians, about safe driving and walking habits, but we can back that up with the right amount of enforcement to help that message get across.
The roads are designed for a certain amount of speed, and they're designed that way so that people can be safe on the road. To go that extra speed, yeah, you run the risk of becoming a victim of a ticket, if that's what you want to call it. You know, you're going to get a ticket, it's going to cost you money, it's going to increase your insurance rates, okay? Number two, if you get in a collision and you're going fast, then you're going to end up hurting yourself or hurting somebody else. You're going to cause damage to your vehicle, which is going to cost you money. By going a safe speed or going the speed limit, then you avoid all those issues. When you look at it in terms of what I've seen and what I have to view on a daily basis in terms of crashes and what that damage does to people and how it destroys their lives, the bottom line is obey the traffic laws. Pay attention to the pedestrians, pay attention to the children in the street, all those things that we see on a daily basis that get damaged or hurt or destroyed by a car. By all means, pay attention and be safe.
On the road, use your common sense. Obey traffic laws, avoid distractions, and look out for the other guy.
We would like to see the Street Smarts program affect people to eventually change their behavior so that they're more in compliance with the roadway laws and regulations.
When we see the terrible things that happen out on the freeway, we have very good reason to be more cautious and be more careful.
You know, we're in such a hurry to get, from point A to point B that we forget, what it is we're doing. And that's the bottom line. We just need to work together and slow down.
With the holidays approaching, it's time to use some common sense approaches when driving. Give yourself extra time to get to your destination. Be courteous and obey the traffic rules. The life you save could be your own.